I am a cat. I have got 9 lives. You pierce me through this side, I don't go down. My name is Lillian Awor Arthur. My company is called Real-Time Group of Companies. Now, Real-Time Group of Companies is a conglomerate of 7 companies. We have Real-Time Pharmaceuticals, Real-Time Tours and Travel, Real-Time Restaurants and Outside Caterers. We have Real-Time Foundation, we have Real-Time Consultancy, and Real-Time Security. Real-Time was inspired by the fact that I needed to tell people that I'll be there on time. If you give me work, I'll deliver it on time. After high school, I went into teacher training, where I became a teacher and taught for 2 years. Apparently, I didn't like teaching. So when I quit, I took a stint at Italy because I love cooking. It's never been anything that I think twice about. So I went to Italy to just learn what it really means and how cooking presents itself. So I came down and opened a small restaurant in the year 2006. And in that restaurant, I was doing chips and smokies and sausages in the estate in that time. And next to my restaurant, after a few months, I opened up a grocery shop. And on the right side, I did a cereals shop. So I was this person who would wake up at 3 a.m., go to Kikomba, buy my groceries, put them at a certain place where a matatu would always come and pick them, jump into another matatu, go to Ruai, buy my nyama, leave it to be delivered as well, jump into another matatu, come back to Nyamakima, get my cereals, and then go home. Then I had 1 child, so I get back home and he's ready for school. He's been dressed up by the nanny. I see him off to the bus, come back, take a shower, and get my sleep. So I would literally be sleeping from 9 in the morning to around mid-morning because this is an estate-run business. Nobody is buying meat at 10 in the morning. 2006, and then Real-Time Company was registered. After I did that, I started getting small orders of disinfectant and detergents. So with time, I got a job in the Mara to help run a restaurant that was now very much sophisticated, which I tried to do for a few years, but I still had my business running back at home. So when I came back, I now opened a restaurant at the Medical Practitioners and Dentist Board. Well, I go to deliver food, and there was this CEO who liked talking. Are you able to do tickets and things like that? I say yes. So I quickly go and think about it and find out what are the ways of registering a ticketing company. And I'm told, don't just register ticketing, do a tours and travel, because with tours and travel, you can do ticketing, you can do hotel reservations, you can do travels, you can do all these things. The second Real-Time company was registered, and that was Real-Time Tours and Travel. At the medical board still, people approached me probably because they were seeing me at the board, so they knew I must be knowing something about medical equipment. So Real-Time Pharmaceuticals was then launched 2018 to basically just do pharmaceutical equipment. Then down the line, I'm picked to represent East Africa as an executive consultant for a Danish organization that gives non-repayable grants. So then I did this for about a year, and I approached the president of the organization and asked him, is it possible that I can work for you not as an individual, but as a company? And he said yes. So Real-Time Consultancy is born. Under Real-Time Consultancy, we end up with a lot of consultancy services that we do. We consult on legal, we consult on accounting, auditing, and all that under one roof. We come down to security, and Real-Time Security is born. And after all this standing, I look and I say, how do I give back to the society? It's been very kind, though harsh, but it's the society. So we came up with Real-Time Foundation, that is a CSR for our business. And our major point is the boy child. So Real-Time Foundation visits boys' children's home every first Saturday of the month, all round the year. Running Real-Time Group of Companies has not been easy. And I remember in the estates where there's this anticipation, people are going to buy the food. So I've brought when you go to the slaughterhouse, you don't buy a kilo. You're either buying an arm or a leg. So I have my arm and leg into the butcher, and it's middle of the month and nobody is buying. And I have to carry back all the food to my house, and we are eating meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because we can't afford to have it thrown out. It's not bad food, but there was the notion that people don't buy meat that has stayed overnight in the butcher. So it's in my freezer. But you see, there's one child and one house girl and 2 parents. So by the time you're done with 30 kilos of meat, you can be sure it's been. So coming up, it's been challenges. Sometimes we've fought to get business. And the fact that I'm married to a doctor pharmacist who is on duty 8 to 5 p.m. So it's not really helping you with the running of your business, but you're still a mother. I am this mommy who wants to see children go to school in the morning. How are they dressed? Look at their shirts. And now that I have a 6-year-old, I love to drop him to school every day, because that's the filling time for mommy and son to say all the stories. Being a female CEO is quite challenging, quite difficult in the society, because we women are described waist down. Nobody wants to think of women waist up. Even if they're very clever, they're very bright in school, people think there must have been a man somewhere who pushed this lady to get to where she is. When Real-Time started, we didn't have a bank account loaded with money, no. I didn't have an inheritance of that used to be my father's shop, no. It's just about you and what you want to do. And I believe we are getting what we want with time. It's a lot of patience. There are times you're thinking, it's 25th. You have no idea where salaries are going to be coming from, but you have to pay salaries. So there are those mornings that I wake up for my prayers at 5 in the morning, and I'm thinking, okay, but I'm not tiring about it. I still have to wake up. I still have to maintain my routine, pray, go to work. For Real-Time, sometimes I don't even go by my diary. I will just do what is required of me at that time. Meeting new clients, talking to them. But at the end of the day, I have my days that there are certain things I must do. Apart from the last 2-3 months, I always played golf on Tuesdays. Sometimes I played for just business meetings and talks to get to know a business partner or something. There's the drive to see a better tomorrow in each and everything I do. And that is depicted from our color scheme. We have gold, and where there is gold, you always want to. A second thing, gold is not on top of the soil. You really have to dig deep to get the gold out from the ground. So that is how Real-Time is. And that's how we've tried to keep it deep down there, but doing beautiful things. When we come up, we shine. Real-Time Group has been to Uganda, and has been to Rwanda, and has been to Tanzania as an East Africa consultant. So we are not looking into East Africa anymore. We are looking at the world, because we now work with Australia, we work with Denmark, and we work with Canada. So in a few years to come, I think Real-Time will be a household name. It will not stop. This is just the beginning, and I think we are wired for greater heights. I received an email telling me about SheEO and the She CEOs. I didn't know that this thing proceeded. So one day at about 10 p.m., I received a letter that, you have been selected as one of the 50 under 50 award winners for the FFIMEA 2023. Mixed reactions. Do I really want to go out for this? Am I ready? I've never told anybody what I'm doing. Nobody knows what really Real Time does, and nobody knows who really Lilian is. So I begin by sharing it out with my staff. I tell them this is what we have achieved, and then the requirements start coming up. I would like to thank, first of all, my family. I have the most beautiful, the most understanding, the most loving, and the most kind family. I would like to thank my staff, and even as I travel far to collect my award, part of my entourage are my staff. And finally, I would like to thank Ms. Roshim, the president of Female Founders Initiative, Middle East and Africa.
This is my team.